And we're back. Fantasy football pregame, week 13. It's getting down to that playoff crunch time, Matt. In case you don't know, I'm Ben. This is Matt, and we are here to answer all of your fantasy football questions. Leave a comment in the chat. We're going to answer it. Start, sit. Even if you have trade questions still, I doubt you do, but we'll do those. We'll do Dynasty. We'll do anything. Just ask any question about anything, and we will answer it to the best of our abilities.
That's a wide range of topics.
Hey, that's fine, man. We just want just come hang out, ask some questions. But let's kick it off. Let's go through players that we're high on, that the other one of us isn't quite so high on.
No active, inactive? Not really much.
Is there anything else to add today other than the big inactives that were all listed yesterday, like T.Y. Hilton's and rest?
Just Zach Ertz is active, so that was the only
good news.
Really only the questionable person today. Everybody else is long announced, so yeah.
All right, well, good news that Zach Ertz is playing.
Nothing too exciting for weather, I don't think.
Well, the San Francisco-Baltimore game looks to be a little bit of a mess, but it looks to be getting a bit better right now. But they are expecting it to be fairly wet. I think this really helps the San Francisco 49ers. Their defense is probably the better one, and they're both good running teams, but with the threat of the quarterback not being able to pass or scramble and you just playing run all day, not too worried about the pass with the wet ball, I think this really favors the Niners, and I think the Niners win. That was my original prediction, and sticking with it.
I thought you had the Ravens.
No.
Pretty sure you said the Ravens.
I'm going with the Niners now then if I'm changing it.
I believe you had Ravens in a blowout, I think, on Wednesday.
Okay, that's right, I did. So I'm changing it to the Niners because that defense, I think, in this little swamp game, and they played a swamp game against Washington earlier in the year, so they're ready for it.
That's a little bit lesser of an opponent.
But they're aware of what to expect with the field conditions. The offenses knows what to expect. I think it's going to be a big day for Tevin Coleman. I think it's going to be a fine day for Mark Ingram. I think Lamar Jackson will still be fine.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo, you have to sit Jimmy Garoppolo in this weather. Kittle, you have to start anyways. Mark Andrews probably isn't as high as the rankings will say because of the weather, but he's still basically a should start. Easily a top 10 play.
I just think the weather will help with Baltimore.
I think it helps San Fran.
Just because I think San Fran's passing game is better. And that's going to hurt, if anything. It's going to hurt their passing game.
East. MB Curl is starting Nick Foles today, and he wants us to pray for him. Good news. They play Tampa, one of the worst secondaries in the league. So fingers crossed that he doesn't get pulled. That's what I'd be worried about more than anything.
Is this our bottom feeder matchup? Nope. Okay.
Anyways, we're going to move on to some running backs that one of us is high on and the other one is lower on. Starting it off with Joe Mixon, who I have ranked number 22 against the Jets. I think with Andy Dalton coming back, they're going to say, Andy, go have fun, do whatever you want, throw it around. We'll run when we run, but we're not going to force feed Joe Mixon like we did when Ryan Finley was back there. Gambled and benched Matt Ryan. Wow, who is this guy? This guy is
that's his real name is Kevin.
Kevin, congratulations! What a! I guess Matt Ryan is actually pretty decent. 2 touchdowns.
Matt Ryan is okay. He ended up being okay.
Yeah. So not congratulations.
Just because towards the end of the game, right? Like they were getting touchdowns. Didn't look like he was going to be a good.
Yeah, that's a big gamble, especially if you need a win this time of year.
For Nick Foles.
For Nick Foles, yeah, a guy who could get yanked mid-game if he plays the way he's been playing. Matt, you and Mr. Black have Joe Mixon in the top 15. You have him at 13. Why are you still so high on him? Don't you think they're going to cut back the carries?
No, not really.
Okay.
That he's their best offensive player. We've talked about this. That's the formula they've been using lately. Their offense has been better with him. That's okay.
Yeah, we'll just ignore that comment. But you like to gamble, we see that, and hopefully it works out for you. We got our fingers crossed, but I think it's too much of a risk. I wouldn't have taken it.
Right. Anyway, with Joe Mixon, I still expect him to get 20 carries or so, and about 80 yards, maybe a touchdown. I picked Cincinnati to win this game, so I'm thinking that he's gonna get a touchdown.
Okay, fair enough, but I just don't see him being that high. Moving on to somebody who I was really low on that we didn't talk about on the preview podcast or Start Sit podcast on Wednesday, and that's Leonard Fournette, Jacksonville running back who's benefited a lot from catching balls and some garbage time last week, but he's been good, but he hasn't been great, and this Tampa Bay defense against running backs has been pretty solid, number 2 overall. So I have Leonard Fournette behind Joe Mixon at 26. Both you and Mr. Black have him as a borderline top 10 start, with you having him at number 10. You're not afraid of this Tampa defense?
Not really. No. Fournette is definitely, again, their top weapon, and they find ways to get him the ball. So he's going to get like 7 or 8 catches as well.
That's a high projection for catches.
He's been doing it all
Yeah,
year.
but it's been like a little bit of garbage time last week.
It's just that they're going to force feed him because their offensive besides him is not that great. I mean, DJ Chark is fine, but the rest of them are not that good.
I think we have a bet here.
All right.
You have him top 10. I have him 26.
So he gets to be in the top 25, and I win. You get every number above 26.
No, that's not how that's going to work.
Why? You get so many more numbers than I do.
Yo!
Hey, Mubaka's back.
Hey, still don't know how to say your name, but welcome back, H. Mumika. I'll do top 20. If you finish this top 20, you win. If you finish outside the top 20, I win. You have him 10th.
Sure.
All right, there it is. Leonard Fournette, PPR. PPR.
Well, I think that helps him.
It probably does at this point. Let's move on to my ballsy sit of the week, and that's Chris Carson, who I have number 33 against Minnesota, ranked 7 against the run. Matt, you have him 15, and Mr. Black has him 23 in between us. Defend your position here. We'll bet on this one, too.
Like I talked about on the podcast here, I don't love the play here, but I like the offense. I like how it's surrounded around running for the most part. Well, it should be anyway. But this could blow up in my face quite easily. Honestly, like Rashad Penny could take half of that. Half the split. But if Carson keeps his role, I like the 15 projection.
I don't think he keeps his role, and that's why I have the 33 projection. I think he gets his role back in the coming weeks, but I just don't think that he has it this week, especially how well Penny's run. They're going to give Penny 10-plus touches easily. Carson might still out-touch him, but he's not topping 15, so I don't like him as a start play this week. Minnesota defense is pretty decent. He could easily go out there and be 15 for 45, and that's his line. He doesn't catch a lot of balls, right? So in PPR, he is the ballsy sit of the week.
Like I said, I don't love him this week. I know I've got him as 15 because I think if he keeps his role, it's fine, but it's a gamble. He is.
We have a question here from H. Mumika talking about possible high wins for the Wentz and Winston games. So Winston playing Jacksonville in Jacksonville, and Philly is playing
the
Dolphins in Miami.
So that would make sense, right? They're both
both in similar location.
I'm looking for the forecast here. I don't see a ton about high winds, so this could just be an out-of-date site, though.
Well, let's take a look at the NFL weather, because this is important this time of year.
Is this the one you're looking at?
That's the one I usually go to.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything about high winds, so.
But yeah, this time of year especially, snow is usually the bigger factor, but winds can play into it. I found a different one here. So it's partly cloudy at the Jaguars, 81 degrees, 3% chance of rain. No mention of wind on this one, so useless.
I haven't heard a lot about wind in either.
A light to moderate breeze will blow from sideline to sideline. Overall, weather will not be a factor at the Eagles-Dolphins game. But it does say for the Jaguars-Buccaneers, inaccuracy on passes and kicks is possible. So if you sat Matt Ryan on Thursday, you're going to have to be dealing with that with Nick Foles today. So I guess the breeze is worse in Jacksonville than it is in Miami.
I've got both those guys as top 10 plays anyway.
Who do you have higher?
I don't know.
Well, I'll pull up the rankings right now so we can take a look. That's BlueDuckFantasy.com if you want to find our full rankings. You got quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and we have PPR for running back and wide receivers.
I like Wentz. He's got all those weapons back today, well, aside from Jackson.
And, Ertz is on 100%.
But Ertz he hurt his hamstring a couple weeks ago and he's been still putting up 90 yards.
Yeah, we're higher on Winston than both. I go Winston. The wind is probably not going to be that big of a factor. He's going to throw interceptions regardless. Yeah. This might actually help him He tends to throw behind wide receivers, so when it's pushing the right way, he'll lead the wide receiver, and when it's pushing the wrong way, should you switch to Jared Goff? Yes.
I like Goff.
My goodness. That's not even a debate.
Well, Goff's been terrible.
Yeah, but he gets the worst quarterback D this week at Arizona.
That's what I'm saying, yes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's not close, man. Sit Foles, start Goff. As for Wentz and Winston, pick whichever one you like the most. I'd go with Winston just because Wentz has struggled. Ertz isn't 100%. Who knows if Alshon's 100%? Everybody else basically drops passes. They're saying J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's going to be a big role. He's not going to be anything special this week.
Alshon has no injury designation, so.
Yeah.
But I like Wentz.
Neither's Tyler Lockett.
I like Wentz, but I've got them 8 and 10.
And I have them 10 and 12.
So they're both good.
But I like Winston. Happy to help, MB Curl. Let's move on to James White, another player that I'm low on. I've given up on James White, although I said it on the podcast, this could be the week that he simply goes off. 38th ranked against Houston. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. James White, 38 at Houston. 21st ranked defense there. Matt, you have him at 28, so in the high flex range for you in PPR. And same with Mr. Black, who has him at 25, so definitely in the high flex range there. Why are you trusting this flex play this week?
He usually gets about 4 or 5 catches, so I mean that's going to put about 5 points there. You never really know what's going to happen with the running backs in New England. That's why he's high flex. He's not startable anymore. I had him startable last week. I moved him down. Yeah,
I was just fed up with him because it's been, like, the yardage just hasn't been there at all. The catches have been like 3-4. He's been like under 10 points for a very long time. He's been like Trey
Cohen, basically.
Yeah, which isn't very good.
No.
So MB Curl says he's been following your rankings all year, and he says that you're in last place and that he's in second last place in the league. Is this correct? Is this factual?
Yeah. All
right, get out of here. Get out of here. Clearly, there's an upgrade here in Kevin. We're going to get him on the show since his rankings have put him in the second last position. Is this a 1-year league too?
Yeah.
Yeesh. We're going to have to delete that comment. It's bad advertising for the team here. Let's move on to a running back that surprisingly you're lower on than everybody else, and that's Jamal Williams, running back for Green Bay. And you have him ranked 40th against the Giants, who are 20th against the run. I have him 28, so high flex for me. Mr. Black has him 33, so a borderline flex for him. Why are you so down on Jamal Williams this week when I think this is going to be a blowout and he'll get a lot of garbage time carries? That's what I'm looking at here.
I'm trying to understand that comment. I'm not getting it.
He's saying he wants to say if he should be a savage and sit Mike Evans for the hot Jarvis Landry, and the answer is no. No. Trot out Mike Evans there. Even if you're playing in PPR, I still wouldn't. It'd be a little bit more tempting for Landry. But it's not like the Pittsburgh defense is bad by any means.
Yeah, it's going to be probably similar to the Thursday nighter.
And they're coming in, like, both teams are going to come in pretty heated. This is going to be a very, like, physical matchup.
Why, did something happen last time they played?
Yeah, I think somebody called somebody else a bad person, and somebody else said, like, slapped them on the head and said, that's not nice of you. Or it was probably way worse than that, and I'm just bringing it down in case children are watching.
But anyway, Jamal Williams. Number 2 back, you know how I feel about number 2 backs generally.
Start Mike Evans, by the way, in case it wasn't clear.
Yeah. No, Jamal Williams, I can start him. No, Aaron Jones is the man there. I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout.
How? How do you not think they're going to run over the Giants?
They are. But with Aaron Jones.
I think Aaron Jones early, but I think Jamal Williams is going to get a lot of play late and is going to...
I don't know. I think they're going to... trust their offense.
All right, another bet.
You
ready for another bet?
Okay.
See if you want to do this one. More rushing yards, Jamal Williams or Aaron Jones?
Sure.
Okay, there it is.
I get Aaron Jones.
You get Aaron Jones. And I get Jamal Williams. More rushing yards. Not passing yards, just rushing yards.
Let's add in passing yards.
No, I don't want passing. Okay, passing yards, no. I don't want receiving yards. I just want rushing yards because I think he's going to get a whole bunch of rushes. I was going to say rushing attempts, but I'm going with rushing yards. I like it.
Okay, and passing yards.
And field goals. Field goals made as well.
Okay.
All right. Last running back to talk about today is Carlos Hyde. Matt, I have him at number 42 against the number 1 run defense for fantasy. That's the New England Patriots. You have him at 25, which is basically almost a start, a very high flex. Mr. Black at 30. Why am I wrong here? Why should I be thinking about starting Carlos Hyde basically ahead of Jamal Williams?
Yeah, that's the surprising thing for me. You think that he's going to be better than Jamal Williams?
I think Jamal Williams is going to be better than Carlos Hyde, yes.
Other way around.
I think Carlos Hyde is a pretty beat up back, and like as much as he's been good because of the threat of that offense, and I just don't see them running the ball very well today.
He's a volume guy, though. He's still going to get his 15, 20 carries, I think.
For
today.
60 yards.
Yeah, I think that's going to be better than Jamal Williams.
It's going to be close.
I think they're going to have to...
I mean, they're 2 spots away, so it's not like I'm over... Or, sorry, I guess that's your ranking. And, yeah, I'm way higher on him than the rest of them. Yeah, I just think Jamal Williams, especially in PPR, is probably going to catch the balls, whereas Carlos Hyde is not going to catch any balls.
We'll see, but Hyde, again, number 1, I'm big on, like, the volume. And I just think Hyde's going to get a lot more volume than someone like Jamal Williams.
You know what? I don't think he's going to get that much more volume than Jamal Williams today. I think it'll be pretty close at the end of the day. In total touches, I think they'll be within 3. But move on to the only tight end on this list. Matt, why do you have O.J. Howard at number 14? Why are you even debating starting O.J. Howard this week?
I didn't think I had him that high, honestly. That kind of catches me off guard. So I thought I had him in the 20s. So I don't really know how to explain this one. Let's skip him.
All right.
Because I don't know what happened. I don't know if that was a typo or what happened there.
So we're agreement. Sit O.J. Howard. Sit every tight end on the Buccaneers.
No, I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah,
I swear when I was doing the rankings, he was in the 20s. I was like, haha, O.J. Howard.
DeAndre Hopkins, Matt, is your number 5 wide receiver this week. For Mr. Black and I, he is outside the top 10. I'm at 13. Mr. Black has him at 12. Not a player we're going to sit. You're not afraid of the New England Patriots shutting him down and him having like a similar line to what he's been doing all season other than his big games. You still think the big game is possible with him having him at 5?
Well, yeah, I think he's always got the potential to have that very solid game. I mean, just throw Stephon Gilmore at him if you like. I think he's good enough to beat Stephon Gilmore.
What if he gets doubled all day?
No.
Stephon Gilmore
he's
goes on
doubled every single week of the year. He'll be fine.
Okay, and again, he's not a sit for me by any means. One of the worst matchups. You think that you'd have him a little bit lower. I think some guys are going to perform better than him.
I don't know. I'd like to see the 12 guys ahead of him.
I'd probably put both the Tampa guys. I'll give you my list, and then we can go from there because we got time today. We got time. We got nothing but time. Be sure to leave your comments, questions. We're here to answer them. PPR wide receiver. Ben's rankings, a.k.a. the correct rankings. Michael Thomas, obviously played. Devontae Adams.
Okay.
And Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I think I probably got these guys ahead of him too.
Well, there was one here that we both had ahead of him and ended up not playing and didn't get updated. Mike Evans. So here's one you don't have. You have Mike Evans behind him.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Lockett ahead of him. No way.
Stephon Diggs.
Nope.
Chris Godwin.
Nope.
Cooper Kupp.
No.
Julian Edelman.
No.
Odell Beckham.
These are guys you have ahead of DeAndre Hopkins this week.
Yep.
Yee.
DJ Chark.
Nope.
And then it's DeAndre Hopkins.
So that's my point. Wow, that's 18.
That's early playoffs.
That must be 8 teams making the playoffs.
That doesn't matter. It's still start next week.
Yeah, that's true.
How many teams make the playoffs, Dr. Clutch?
Unless they only played a week 15.
That would be interesting.
Some leagues do that because some teams do start benching in week 16.
I mean, it's very rare, but...
Yeah, it must be, though.
6 teams made the playoffs. It could be some type of, 4-week playoff,
Yeah,
which is total score like that.
Some teams do that.
They only play until 15. So there you go. They only play until 15, so it's playoff time, Dr. Clutch. Dr. Clutch, let's see the lineup. Let's see your playoff lineup. We'll keep going here. Keenan Allen. Matt, you have him at 8. You love Keenan Allen this week as well against Chris Harris Jr. in Denver. We have him 17 and 13 for Mr. Black. Why are you so high on a guy who hasn't done it in weeks?
A guy that...
Half season, basically.
Someone like Phillip Rivers is going to go back to what he's in danger of losing his job. He's going to go back to who he trusts, Keenan Allen, and Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry.
And Austin Eckler.
And Mike Williams. And Melvin Gordon.
Not
He
Mike
trusts
Williams.
all of them.
He doesn't trust Mike Williams.
And Antonio Gates.
And Antonio Gates.
Yeah, Dr. Clutch, feel free to send it on Instagram, and then we'll talk about it on here. He hasn't shown it. He's not outside of the start range for me, but he's not. He can't be top 10.
I feel like he was pretty good recently.
I don't think so. Terry McLaurin next up. I have him at 18, which is one spot behind Keenan Allen. He's going at Carolina. I think Carolina's going to drop some points on Washington, and Washington's going to have to be passing. And as bad as the quarterback play in Washington is, I still think he can connect for 80 and a score. For Terry McLaurin, you have him at 32. Mr. Black 30. You guys aren't believing this?
No, nobody on Washington I think I can start. He's closest, and he's a flex.
At best.
At best. I mean, yeah, they might have to pass to keep up, or like in the garbage time, but he's not the kind of guy that is going to get the garbage time points. I don't feel like it's going to be like a Harmon or somebody that's not like their big play threat.
That's true, but I still think he's good enough to beat a secondary that isn't great. Brandon Cooks, Matt, your favorite player of the week, number 22 is a start for you at Arizona, 23rd against wide receivers. I have him 34, and Mr. Black has him 33. We talked about this before. You're really high on this guy. I'm just not sure why. Like, what has he done to show that you should be this high?
Call it a gut feeling.
Gut feeling. All right.
And like I said Patrick Peterson is going to be on Cup. They don't have anybody to match.
I don't think he will be. I think he'll be on Cooks.
I don't think so.
Because I think Cooks is the faster, deep threat, big play guy, and that's kind of Patrick Peterson doesn't cover slot receivers, I don't think. But anyways, Emmanuel Sanders looks like it's going to be a little bit of some bad weather there. Matt, you have him at 28, which is the highest of the three of us by a fair margin here. 39 for me, so a sit, and a sit for Mr. Black at 35 as well.
Flexible for me.
High flex, medium flex, 28th overall with the weather.
That was before the weather report came through, but
would you consider sitting him now?
I'd still, he's not like a must start by any means.
But would you take him out of the flex range?
I'd maybe bump him a few spots. I mean, obviously, it's going to depend on your lineup at that point.
I think him and Debo are just going to eat into each other too much at this point, since they're both like Debo had a big game last week, but he had 2 catches, and Sanders had like 3. I just don't think the volume's going to be there today for either of those guys. Even Kittle's probably not going to be as high as we've ranked him because of what's happened.
Yeah.
Don't have it yet. But let's move on to N'Keal Harry, a player that apparently I'm way too high on at 35. We was like a borderline start in 3 wide receiver sets. I know that Sanu's back. I know that Dorsett's healthy. But this is their best wide receiver. And who?
And Edelman's there.
Yeah, well, Edelman is there. And, I mean, after Edelman, he's their best wide receiver. Houston 24th against the pass. You have at 59. Mr. Black at 72. So not even bothering to really give him a fair ranking here.
He hasn't done anything to justify moving him up that much. He had the touchdown catch. Was it last week?
Yeah.
But
that's all I had.
Yeah. I couldn't put him near my lineup right now. He's got to show it to me before I'm going to put him in there. Especially in games where you need... possibly need to win to get in.
All right, let's take a look at this matchup here for Dr. Clutch. Okay, so Dr. Clutch has Patrick Mahomes, Le'Veon Bell, Josh Jacobs, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Melvin Gordon in the flex, Green Bay D, Sly kicking, Tyrell Williams, DJ Chark on the bench. And there are some other defenses on the bench.
And this is half or full PPR? Or?
I believe this is standard. Dr. Clutch, you want to just make sure it's standard or PPR in the comments there? San Francisco and the Rams D as well. But he has a Green Bay D, who I like this week. So I'm going Green Bay. You prefer that D? So it really comes down to...
you can't play the 49ers against Baltimore. Yeah, it is standard. So Melvin Gordon's definitely the right call on the flex. And Keenan Allen and Godwin, I would have over Chark and Tyrell Williams. You might have Chark ahead of...
I have Chark ahead of Keenan Allen. And I would go with that. But you know what? Yeah, you know what? I would go with Chark. But here's the question that we're not considering here. Le'Veon Bell? Not possibly a sit for DJ Chark here in standard?
No, not for me. Against the Bengals? No.
Bengals haven't been that terrible against the run. They've been bad against the pass.
Not for me.
Let's check out where the Le'Veon Bell running back ranking is in standard. Who's thinking about benching Allen and Moch, which makes sense. But Lev Bell, okay, we all have Lev Bell top 10. Yeah, Cincinnati set 27th against run. Or against running backs. So I guess that's the decision it comes down to is Keenan Allen or DJ Chark. I'm going to say it's DJ Chark for me because I think that Tampa Bay secondary is bad. I know they did a good job on Julio last week, but I also think Julio wasn't 100%, as we saw from him not being able to play on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why he wasn't able to get free. I just like that matchup a lot better. Like, I think Keenan Allen, who has had success against Chris Harris, but with his quarterback struggling, if it was PPR, I might go the other way. Yeah, I think Tampa is ranked. Yeah, Tampa is ranked last against wide receivers. They play high-scoring games. I'm going DJ Chark in that one. You can stick with your Keenan Allen and standard, but I'm going DJ Chark. Let's go to Will Fuller, who was my ballsy start of the week.
Yeah, I don't like Will Fuller.
All right, and that's your case.
Well, I mean,
personal vendetta.
He had a good week last week, right?
Yeah.
And he's not going to have a good week for another 4 weeks.
But he's done the back-to-back weeks before.
He has, but no. You talk about New England shutting down D-Hop. I can't see how they wouldn't shut down Will Fuller first. Well,
they can't shut down everyone.
No.
If they're going to shut down Will Fuller, they're going to have a safety playing over the top because he's a deep ball threat. So they're going to have to be like basically doubling him and then doubling DeAndre Hopkins. Well, and if that's the case, then Carlos Hyde is going to run rampant all over them.
And look at his ranking.
It's just kind of like, how do you figure they're going to play him? And I just think they're going to say, listen, we're going to play like a zone. Yeah. Again, Dr. Clutch, I'm saying Chark, Matt's saying Keenan Allen. I wonder who you should listen to. But
you should base it off of Sunday Showdown ranking.
You should base it off of who won Sunday Showdown last week. The new champ, reigning, defending Sunday Showdown champion. Now 4 wins on the year. I don't know how many have. They maybe have like the same amount, I think. Yeah, I go with DJ Chark there. I like Will Fuller because I think that if they play him like that, they're going to have to play him with a safety over the top, and that's going to open things up. And I just don't think they can. I think they're just going to let him get short yardage and keep him in front of him and say, listen, if he's going to beat us, he's not going to beat us on deep patterns. We're not going to press cover him.
That's all he does, though.
But that's the thing. If the Houston can say, listen, they're not going to let you go deep. They're playing 5 yards off you. You're going to have to hit some comeback routes or some slants to get inside. It's a ballsy start for a reason. I do have him at 25. Mr. Black has him at 32. So you're just a lot of hate. I know you love Kenny Stills, and I know that plays into it.
No, I have Kenny Stills probably lower.
Yeah, you should. It's a tough defense. Yeah. Basically, that's going to wrap up our rankings gaps.
Outside of Hopkins, I just don't like that offense today. Personal matchups. It's always fun.
Yeah, I got Matt in a personal matchup this week. Why don't we get into our matchups? Let's talk about our teams. So I have 6 teams. 2 of them we co-own, so let's just jump into those. What do we need there? Have we set our lineups for those?
We need to win in one of them to get a bye.
Yeah, we're playing the team that has the same record as us, so it's win, you get the bye.
And the other one, I don't really think there's a lot we need. Like, we were looking for another team to lose to get a first round bye, but I don't think that's going to happen. So
no, it's unlikely. So that basically just kind of set, and we kind of have a bye this week.
Yeah, and we have. I think the matchup in Old is okay for our playoffs right now. I think we're number 3 seed, so we're going to play the team that squeaks in, which we should win. And then we get the weaker division leader, who we have more points forward. This is why divisions are bad. Also,
I don't mind 2 divisions, but 3 is just absolutely bonkers. Because you'd want to be the 6th seed in that league, so that you play that 1-3 and basically 6 and 7, 7 and 6 team. No moves to make here. All looking good.
I'm just not a big fan of divisions in general.
I like divisions because they help the schedule, and you can build rivalries. If you're going to be in the league with people for a long time, it helps out. Just going through my lineups here. So in those 2 leagues, we're basically, one of them is win and we get the bye. The other one is we're basically not getting the bye, so playoffs next year.
Although the team that we need to lose has a tougher matchup than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
'Cause the other guy decided to set his lineup, so that was nice.
So we already talked about the league that you were last in. How's our Thanksgiving? Our Thanksgiving was great. I watched football. Not much else to talk about for that, but let's talk about our teams here.
It was average.
What leagues are you? How many leagues are you out of the playoffs in?
One for sure out. We talked about that one. And
Keep going.
one I'm probably not going to make it. The other 6 I should be in.
Okay, so you got 4 other ones that we haven't talked about. 8 leagues. Mitch looked good against the Lions. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Like he's good against. He's fighting against weak defenses, but so was the guy like Nick Foles today. Will probably look good.
Everybody looks good against the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions are terrible on defense. You shouldn't have them in any type of league that isn't a dynasty 2 quarterback league.
So yeah, basically I've got a bye in one league, and although not technically confirmed, but I need to be outscored by over 300 points to lose the bye. So that ain't gonna happen. Playing for a bye in one of our joint leagues,
Yes, we are playing not against each other, but we both have the same record. And you have the points lead, so I need you to lose.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to outscore you by 100.
And you need to win.
And I need to win, which I got off to a good start on with Allen Robinson and Kenny Galladay.
Yeah.
And you came back big time with the Cameron Jordan garbage time sack time.
It wasn't even garbage time though.
Well, I mean, it wasn't, but like, it was after the second recovered onside kick. So.
Well, that second club, that 4th sack, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Let's see what else.
We have our other league that we're playing each other this week. You need a win.
Yeah.
And you need me to lose next week in order for you to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the one I said I'm probably not making it.
Yeah, and I'm currently projected to beat you by 20 after Galladay versus Robinson, and you had Kamara not doing much for you.
Yeah.
2 players have been leading me by 1.2. Landry on your bench. Starting Chris Carson.
I can't put anybody else in for him.
Well, you could put Eckler in the running back spot and then flex out Mike Williams.
Not standard.
Well, you kind of need a miracle, so I see Michael Harmon there on your bench.
Yeah.
Accepting defeat.
I've got a 8-4 team that I need to win to get in still. And the other team I've already got clinched playoffs and can't really move. But I think that's all my leagues.
So my last league here.
I'm getting in 6, likely. And
so of my 6 leagues, 2 that we share, we're getting in both of those.
Yeah.
I'm getting in the league that we're playing for a bye against each other this week. It's just whether or not I get the bye. I'm most likely getting in the Yahoo league that we're playing each other. In my Dynasty league, where I'm looking at an Empire pot if I win since I won last year, I am looking in good shape for the bye this week. I just need points. I don't even need, as I have a game in hand and I have a points lead, so I just need to not be overtaken by like 50-something. Drake versus Eckler. PPR or standard, Steven?
I think it's Eckler anyway.
Probably, but
yeah, if it's PPR, for sure Eckler.
Yeah. Standard. I still go Eckler. You just don't want to trust that. Eckler's going to get points. Drake could.
I don't know what
Chase
Arizona's
Edmonds is
gonna
playing
do.
too.
Yeah.
You want to just avoid that risk. It's just unnecessary. Against the Rams defense, who got embarrassed last week. I figure they'll come in a little bit hungry. Go with Eckler. So the last league is the only league where I'm in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. I am currently 5th at 6-6, the 2 quarterback league. I am playing an easier team this week, but I guess this is a 4-week playoff. So I have this week and next. I have 40 points on the team in 3rd, but I would need them basically to lose out. And I'm down 70 points from the league in 5th. So that's going to come down to the wire, and we'll talk about that one more next week. 28-3, they are playing to a team that put up some decent points. Who they start to get these points? Matt Ryan, Alvin Kamara, Jared Cook. Oh, Latavius Murray. So they've already used several players, and they're projected to win by 14. So it might come down to the last week. I'm going to need some points in that one after a close loss. Let's get to the Sunday Showdown, and I, the reigning, defending Sunday Showdown champion, will decide if I want to go first or if I want to go second.
What's the record here? Is it 8-4? 8-4?
That doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about what the record is.
Just making sure.
I will let you go first.
Okie dokie.
See what you do.
I will go with... I barely looked at these, honestly.
It's been up for like an hour.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey.
Excellent. I'll take him out at the half. All right, I will take Andy Dalton,
Wow.
quarterback from the C group, and I will take Jalen Richard, running back from the C group.
You think that's going to get out of hand early, do you?
I think coming off the bye, they're going to be in tip-top shape to destroy them. So back to you, sir.
All right, let's go. I don't even really like this pick, but I'm going to go Nelson Aguilar
Ooh.
out of the C group because Alshon, like you said, may not be that healthy. Ertz may not be that healthy. We're going to go with that. And I'm going to go with... Let's turn that down. Or off. Let's give me a B group receiver here. Not a ton of great options that I like here. I'm going to go with... Oh, does that mean that we're frozen?
I don't know. Yeah, keep going.
Anyway.
Probably just froze for a second.
All right. I'm going to go with... just going to go with my gut here. Brandon Cooks.
Oh, Brandon Cooks. For those of you watching, Matt made a huge mistake there picking somebody out of the C group when I picked all my C group players, so he didn't have to force a C group player. Huge mistake. Clearly, he didn't win last week. I did. And
you've been not very good at this.
Doesn't matter, because I'm about to be a lot better. It's half point PPR right now, so I'm looking at what do I want. So many good running backs in the B group that I don't need to pick one right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The B wide receivers, some decent names there as well.
I don't love a lot of them, honestly.
I don't dislike a lot of them either. But why don't you give me the best name out there, and that's Travis Kelce.
Yeah. So I kind of thought maybe you'd go there.
And just making the decision as to who I want here. You know what? I'm just good with any of those wide receivers. And running back. Yeah, okay. Why don't you give me... Jamison Crowder.
Crowder out of B. The man in the back.
That's why I had to pick him.
Alright, fair enough.
Take him away from you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with any of that. Okay. Let's go. Your picks, would you still run with Eckler over Keenan? Is that Keenan Allen?
Yeah, is that Keenan Allen?
Or Parker?
That's Devontae Parker for sure over Devontae Parker.
Yeah, I would go Keenan. If that's Keenan
Allen as well, because it's standard. Oh, it's weird because it's like in PPR you'd think he'd be.
I'd go Keenan over Eckler.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Keenan Allen over Austin Eckler in standard, and don't worry about interrupting our picks. We do this to kill time. In between the picks, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe, Steven. Thanks for the questions. We appreciate them. Keep them coming. Matt takes forever to pick anyways, so.
I'm going to make it easy on you for later on. I'm going to go with Big Joe Mixon there.
Panthers D is the answer for me. H. Mubika.
Yeah, Panthers D, yeah.
Steelers D have a tough matchup. TS, welcome. Jonathan, I'm assuming that's Jonathan Williams or Eckler PPR Flex. Rivers might be, you might get pulled. They don't want to pull him. But yeah, Jonathan Williams or Eckler PPR Flex. Gonna have to go to the rankings here on BlueDuckFantasy.com.
That's gonna be really close. I would go to Williams because I think it's gonna be a little bit more volume.
He said PPR, right?
Yeah.
Eckler's definitely the safer play.
But is he like Williams is like for sure starter?
Well, he was. All right, here are the rankings. I have at number 16 Austin Eckler on PPR. At number 18 Jonathan Williams. Matt, at 21 you have Jonathan Williams. Okay. At 23 you have Austin Eckler. Yeah, so they're both very close. They both should be pretty good. I think that Jonathan Williams Titans or Colts Texans matchup is probably not going to be as high scoring. Starting Jarvis over Lockett. PPR or not PPR, H. Mubika?
I would still go Lockett. I just think you have to.
I don't know. No, I'd go Jarvis. Like, it just depends on your matchup, though, each move. Because, like, if you feel like you need, like, the boom play, then it's Lockett. But if you need the safer play, Jarvis Landry's probably going to be good for, like, 8 for 8. He might not be a scorer, but he should be good for about 15 points or so. Whereas Lockett could be good for 25, or if it happens like last week, 5. Lockett's health is a big question mark. So if you need a miracle to win, go with Lockett. And if you need the safe play, go with Jarvis. Matt, you still think Lockett no matter what?
I think Lockett. Yeah, I'm gonna go Lockett regardless. Boy. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Okay. Did I pick? Oh yeah, I picked Joe Mixon, and we're gonna go with Williams or Eckler.
I say Eckler. He says Williams.
Didn't we both have Williams higher?
No, you had Williams higher. I had Eckler higher by 2 spots. But they're both really close. They both should be good. I'd go Eckler, he'd go Williams. But they'll both probably end up with very similar points. Yeah. Neither is going to be overly bad or overly great, I would say. Yeah. They'll both probably be like around the top 20 running backs.
I don't really, like I said, I don't love any of these guys, but I'm going to go Cortland Sutton here.
Okay, so now you've taken all your wide receivers and all your running backs.
Yep. So
and no quarterback.
I made it easy for you, just like you did for me. I can lay down quarterback and tight end.
Well, I don't have to wait anymore. I have to pick wide receivers and running backs anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so running back.
You want to play Woods, Hollywood, and Tyrell Williams?
I wouldn't trust Thielen.
I think he'll probably play, but yeah, I couldn't.
I would have to go with Woods over
Tyrell. I like Tyrell there too.
Tyrell could be good, but he hasn't been good in a while. I'd like Woods over Tyrell this week. Melvin Gordon or Jarvis Landry flex. Gonna choose Lockett since I need that boom play. Melvin Gordon or Landry flex. This is full PPR. Yeah, he has been.
Yeah, I don't like Rhodes. Rhodes hasn't been that great lately. At all.
Full PPR, Melvin Gordon or Landry.
I would still have to go Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I still have to go Melvin Gordon as well.
Yeah. Everybody's in agreement with Melvin Gordon here.
Melvin Gordon, that's 3 people. Dr. Clutch chiming in. Okay, I need a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Austin Eckler. I need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Give me Scary Terry.
McLaurin. Okay.
That's what's up.
Okay.
Appreciate the comments, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you guys coming here. 7 minutes till game time. Time for Matt to make his picks.
Yike. Those are not great options in that, but I'm going to go Sam Darnold over Baker.
Interesting.
And, I don't care, Tyler Eifert.
Really? For you to go with Nick O'Leary.
Yeah.
He's taking the punt at tight end, so I need a wide receiver here. Give me Alshon.
Alshon Jeffrey. Okay.
And now I need to pick for you.
Pick me a flex out of A.
Out of the A group.
Yeah. So this is between Nick Chubb, Melvin Gordon, DJ Chark, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. Going Chark over Keenan. Hopefully I see some big plays from Chark this week. Jags definitely going. Yeah, it definitely could happen. Bucks secondary is bad. Bad. DJ should have a pretty good day today. I think we probably both have him in the top 15 anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to give you DJ Chark.
No, speak of the devil.
There's really no good player to give you, so.
No.
I just figure he has the highest bust potential.
One of the box wide receivers could bust. It's just
how are you going to pick which one? That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way I have either of them below him. And, Nick Chubb's been good every week. He's never been bad. He's never been super great, other than the one game against the Ravens. Because he hasn't gotten those touchdowns.
Good. Yeah. So I'm left with the Bucks receivers here.
Melvin Gordon and Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
You got to pick one for me.
I know. I don't think there's a right answer here.
Enjoy your cheddar popcorn, Dr. Clutch. See you back here next week. Hopefully you win. Get to play your brother. Get to move on in your playoffs. They go till week 15.
Yeah, I've heard more and more leagues are actually doing that. Because he had the good week last week, I think they're going to go opposite this week. I'm going to give you Chris Godwin.
I'll take you.
Well, there's no right answer out of that.
Nope, there is not. So let's go over the teams, Matt.
For you, you've got Andy Dalton, Jalen Richard, Austin Eckler, Crowder, Terry McLaurin, Alshon Jeffrey, Kelsey's your tight end, Chris Godwin as your flex. For me, I've got Sam Darnold, Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, Nelson Aguilar, Brandon Cooks, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Eifert, and DJ Shark.
Let us know who you think's going to win. Dr. Clutch, yeah, if you're a 4 seed, it means you're playing the 5 seed. And if your brother's a 2 seed, it would mean that he'll be playing either the 3rd seed or the 6th seed.
Some leagues don't do that.
That's why he said somebody has to lose. So the 3rd seed would have to lose so that the 1 place team plays the 6th seed, and then you'd play the 2 seed. If the 3 seed wins, then they automatically play the 2 seed. Doesn't matter who wins the 4 or 5 matchup. So whoever's in that 3 seed would have to get upset by the 6 seed for you to play your brother next week. Sam D. Raymond Sotelo says Sam D. Then he says Darnold. Who you got him going up against? Or are you just coming over here to save it?
I think he's saying that Sam Darnold's team's going to win.
You think the Darnold team is going to win? Get out of here.
I think that's what he was saying. I don't know.
I mean, he has Nelson Aguilar on his team. How can you pick somebody who has Sam Darnold and Nelson Aguilar? Whereas my team has Andy Dalton and Jalen Richard. Look at those name brand guys.
Woohoo!
Appreciate the vote, Raymond.
The 1 seed is 11.
I don't think that can happen. I think they're both probably mathematically eliminated at this point.
I think I read Miami's not.
Oh, that 3-game winning streak coming back to bite them.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll be looking for some help next year in the draft. 1 seed is 11-1. That means his luck's about to run out, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully the 6 seed wins so that you can avoid that 11-1 juggernaut.
As long as you can.
Yeah, appreciate you guys joining us today. Probably going to wrap it up real quickly, so if you got any questions, make sure that you drop them in the chat right now. Make sure to hit
Bengals.
He thinks the Bengals are going to overtake the Dolphins now?
Yeah.
Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Helps us out. I'm just checking my lineups. I don't think I can even make changes for some leagues at this time.
No.
I don't think I had any change to make in this league. Unless I forgot. Forgot to take my kicker back this week. Looks like I'm going with Sutton, Jeffrey, and Josh Jacobs. No Sammy Watkins, no Sony Michel. Saquon Barkley. Panthers defense versus the Skins. Jets defense versus Bengals. Or Chargers defense versus Brown. Okay, that's what he's saying. Panthers. Yeah.
And I think it's probably too late to change some of those lineups anyway.
Yeah. Gonna attempt to join the games. Might get mad and try to win that 225.
I'm guessing that's what you win for winning the league.
Yeah, best of luck. Dr. Clutch, thanks for stopping by. Everybody else, thank you so much for joining us this week. Matt, you have anything that you want to say before we go?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you're doing both. We don't know about kickers.
Kickers don't count. The kickers are fine. Just make sure there's not a lot of wind and you should be okay. Which are the other options. All right, well, Dr. Clutch wants to answer your kicker question. He is today's kicker specialist.
Kicker
so
whisperer.
We'll let him know what your other option is. Good luck in fantasies. Good luck as well to you, Raymond. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And have yourself a good day today. And that's it.